The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB TV.
Y'all ready for this?
We are back. Southern Nevada Sports News brought to you by WWDBTV.com. My name's Jeff Belknap. I'm in the studio with an old friend.
What up, though? Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Lucius Thompson,
Yes,
the
sir.
new B.
The new B.
Good to see you, man. And I've known Lucius. You and I go way back,
Yes,
many,
sir.
many years.
Yes, sir.
You're working now, 91.5,
Yes,
the
sir.
UNLV station. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
91.5 KUNV Las Vegas. I host a show called Shananaganz on the radio.
Shenanigans. You
Yes,
heard
sir.
that. That sounds
Yes,
kind of
sir.
like our shows. You know what I'm talking about?
And also a show called Preseason Shananaganz on the radio.
Nice.
Every first and fourth Thursday of the month on the Rebel HD2, which is the student station of UNLV. Yeah, we showcase artists or leaders in the community, people who are doing anything positive in the community. I'm also a commentator for the Lady Rebels,
Oh, nice.
the UNLV basketball team.
I didn't know that.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
That's a lot of stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
And you run a page, a group page
Mhm.
on Facebook. It's called Youth Positive People for the Betterment of Themselves and Others.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
I've been a member of that group for a long time. You know, I like what you put up here.
Appreciate
You're always
that.
looking at, you know, the positive things that are happening,
Yes, sir.
the good things that are happening. Because a lot of stuff. I mean, unfortunately, the way the news is, it just kind of spills out and becomes the
Focus
negative
on the
thing.
negative. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, just tell us a little bit about, like, how did you get involved in this? How did you get involved with radio? Because I knew you used to sing.
Yes, sir.
I've heard this guy sing before. It's like the real deal.
Good looking.
And
Thank you.
and I'm telling you, when you know we were, you know, doing some stuff, and then you decided to go into radio,
Yes,
and then you just, next thing I know, you're on the air, and then, you know, tell me about it. What
Yes,
happened
sir.
with all that?
Well, I actually I've been involved with and in love with radio since I was a kid.
Okay.
Like before I actually got into hip hop, I always had a thing for music. But when I was 14, I interned at 88.1 KCEP FM as the youngest member of the intern program that they had.
Nice.
Then I followed up in high school with it, with radio broadcasting, audio visual. And then an opportunity provided itself where I was going on as a guest of a show.
Nice.
And I was just on the hook of the guy who was going on the show, and he wanted to, you know, have us all there. And I just told the host that she might need a co-host. And
That's great.
she thought I was playing at first, but then I showed up and started bringing more guests in and whatnot.
So you want to give a
Rest of
shout
this
out
year.
to your show host?
Shout out to Randy the Prince Madison, who put me on. She's not my co-host no more. She's moved on. She's
Okay.
a chef and also a artist, a poet.
Nice.
Chef Madison, check her out if you get a chance to.
Does she have Instagram or any of that?
Yep.
Or?
Chef Madison, Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, nice. I'll
Yes,
check
sir.
that out.
Yes, sir.
So you have a current host.
Co-host.
Co-host.
On Wednesdays, I have a DJ
Oh, DJ.
who
Okay.
co-hosts with me. DJ No Worries. No Worries Wednesdays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're
All
on from 11 to 1 to try and get you over the hump and take all your worries away with no worries. You know,
I love it.
let go of everything from Monday and Tuesday.
That's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
So, so it's a night show from
Yes, sir.
11 to 1. Okay, perfect. Because then that takes you into the tail end of the week. You're kind of moving into the. I see
Yes,
where
sir.
you're going there with
I
the
get-
over the hump.
We actually get to bring in everybody's Friday.
Oh,
with
nice.
them, you know, because we're on Thursday too. On Thursdays too, we like to call it Friday Junior. You know.
Nice. So then you said you also have a praise and worship show.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little about that.
Praise and Shenanigans on the radio is on the Rebel HD2 on from 7 to 9 p.m. on Thursday nights, every first and fourth Thursday.
And that's the internet.
No, well, it's an app.
Oh, it's an app.
The
okay.
Rebel HD2
Yep.
is an app you can download for free, or the WWDB.com /listen.
Right. Okay.
We like to have. We've had guests on as far as pastors, ministers. You've been on the show as well. Yes, sir. You know, that's more to get on the of the leaders in the spiritual community.
Yeah.
We had our aspirations, our upliftment for the week.
Yeah.
You know, just try to uplift people and educate people as well.
Yeah. So I've had ideas for shows. Should I get with you after the show? We can talk about them?
I'm with
okay.
it. Yes,
All right,
sir.
Good. So Shenanigans on the radio, that's your main show, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I like that. I told you that before. I really like that name.
Thank you, sir.
So, you know, you're a sports fan?
I am.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, I mean, when you think about sports, I mean, what season do you get excited about going into?
I love basketball. I would have to say basketball season because I'm a Brown fan.
LeBron fan, okay.
Yeah.
So you rolling right with them right into the Lakers, or?
Actually, I'm loving that because I'm from Vegas. You know, that's
Okay.
our West Coast team. I grew up on the Lakers. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Okay, so LeBron yesterday was supposed to show up at, you know, he owns several restaurants, and I'll give a plug to his restaurants, Blaze Pizza.
Okay.
They're franchises. He owns a bunch of them. But he owns several in L.A., and he was supposed to show up at one of them yesterday, and I guess really thousands of people showed up
Yes, sir.
to get their pizza, and somebody shows a picture of him in his pool. I mean, how do you feel about that?
In his pool when he's supposed to be at the
When he's
pizza.
supposed to be at the pizza place,
Man,
meeting the new fans of the Lakers.
right? I mean, you never know.
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
He could have had an injury, had to soak his knee or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
never know. He might.
The pool looked really good, and he was sitting on a floaty. So I don't know about that, but
yeah. I don't like to let the fans down,
yeah.
but at the same time, I don't know the full circumstances.
Well, I know in one of the buildings somebody already tagged the building. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a graffiti artist painted a mural of him.
Okay.
Welcome, or the King of LA. I think that was the mistake that they put that on there,
Oh.
and somebody tagged it immediately.
Okay.
I guess they didn't like that there, but I did notice a lot of the new shirts that are out in LA. They're a LeBron, like the LA symbol and then Bron.
Right.
So is that? I mean, what do you think about that?
You know, people got a lot of high expectations for him.
Yeah.
I believe it too. I think that it is a setup though to give somebody the title of king
Yeah.
that is just moving to a city to do what they do. But he could be. I mean, if he could live up to the hype.
Sure, I believe that. So, any chance do you see Kobe coming out of retirement playing a year?
That would be beautiful.
As a Laker fan, I know that that's what everybody wants.
Yes, definitely.
And actually, you know what? Honestly, for the whole sport of basketball, it would probably be, you know, it's kind of like the Golden Knights going to the finals.
Yes,
It's kind of like that type of story. It's the LeBron and Kobe on the same team.
The underdog and the superstar come together.
So you're talking Kobe being the superstar, or?
Well,
Because I know you're a LeBron fan. So
yeah.
who's the GOAT? I mean, what's the real deal?
Kobe would be the superstar
Okay.
coming back to the Lakers, and LeBron would be the underdog because, you know, in everything that he do, you know, he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's pulling the team and everything else, you know. So
No, I agree with that. And, you know, honestly, I mean, these are huge shoes to fill.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you're coming into a Laker team that was sub 500 last year, that's been sub 500 for many years,
yes, sir.
which has been great for me because I'm not a Laker fan.
Straight up. Who's your team?
Well, I'm not really a basketball fan, so I always say I'm the other 31 or the other 29 teams,
Okay.
which is the Lakers, everyone, whoever. But, you know, I kind of lost a little bit about, you know, the NBA's has kind of lost its drive. I mean, I love the sport of basketball. I'm a huge college basketball fan.
Yes, sir.
I just kind of feel like the NBA guys kind of go through the motions, you know, and it doesn't seem like, I mean, you know, I'm coming from a sports better background.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when I see a team up by 30 in the second quarter, there's no way that they should lose that game, you know.
Right.
But you see it happen almost on a nightly basis in the NBA. You see a team get blown out by 31 night, and then they win by 20 the next night.
Yes.
I mean, I always kind of think of that as you're either good or you're not good.
Right.
You know, I mean, and the NBA is you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show up. The only thing you can count on is that LeBron's going to have a good game, and maybe a couple other players.
They might lose, but they still going.
Yeah.
They still going.
Now, when I look at like young guys like Devin Booker, I see a guy that puts up 60 and then he puts up 70 in games last year.
Okay.
And this is a young guy. He gets a contract, $150-something million contract. That's interesting to me. Because you got a guy that's, who's a good college basketball player, steps into the pros, goes on to a not good team in Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
And then, now you're paying this guy $150 million.
Right.
So, is any player on Phoenix worth $150 million? I guess the question.
I mean, the thing is, we have something to look forward to this season with that and find out for sure. But I mean, I will say the NBA doesn't have a real big record of wasting big money on players.
Yeah.
That's not going to come pull the weight.
Yeah, I believe it.
Now, if he was going to the Lakers with LeBron as well, and Kobe come back, I mean, all at the same time, that would just be the power squad right there. And the most influential team and squad of the NBA for forever history.
Okay, so I have a question because you're a Lakers fan.
Yes, sir.
So this is just an opinion thing. I asked the question a couple weeks ago on the air, and we had a couple people who got back to me and with their opinion. Who's a better team, the Lakers last year, as they were,
Yes, sir.
or Cleveland without LeBron James? So when you look at the talent, like minus LeBron James, which team do you think would be better, the Lakers or Cavaliers, who, by the way, swept Lakers in their series last year, with LeBron, of course?
I mean, that's a good question. I would have to say the Cavs.
You say the Cavs?
Yeah.
Well, that was my point. That was where I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
See, the Cavs are a better team, so even when you take LeBron off the team, they're still a better team. So if the Cavs can't win with LeBron, what makes you think the Lakers are going to win with LeBron?
Well, because the Lakers are coming with they got some star players behind them too on their squad, but as well, LeBron was like the majority leader for the Cavaliers. If he brings this to LA, and the LA squad can pick up all the slack.
Yep.
They could really pull it through.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you that one. So in years past, I was always a bigger NFL guy.
Okay.
I've kind of for a lot of the same reasons, kind of pulled back off the NFL as well.
Yes, sir.
But I do love the sport of football. Obviously, I'm a huge college football fan. Michigan, obviously.
Sure.
Your team?
My team, NFL, is the Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay.
College team was back in the day, whichever team I had a jacket for. But I am a Rebels fan, also a Buckeyes and a Cornhuskers
Oh, nice.
fan. So
Yeah, so I was speaking of Cornhuskers. I was watching some video yesterday. Ty Lindsay, player from Gorman, had a nice long run in one of the practice games, scrimmages.
Yes, sir.
For Nebraska.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing at Nebraska, and then of course they have Frost is back at Nebraska. He used to be the quarterback, but now he's head coach there. Coming off his undefeated season at Central Florida. So
Yes, sir.
a lot of looking up, but a difficult conference being in the Big Ten.
Yes, and I mean Nebraska. They have a history of they pull it through, and I believe that this year might be the year for them to actually pull that championship and bring it home.
You know what? They are on the weaker side of the Big Ten.
Is that right?
As far as because there's two divisions,
Yes,
they
sir.
are on the weaker side of that division. So I think that they honestly can
Yes, sir.
contend for that side, but they still have to beat Michigan State, or Ohio State, whoever wins on that side. So it's always a tall order, mainly because Ohio State's just been so dominant.
Yes, sir.
And that's really difficult for me to say right there. Being a Michigan fan.
Straight up.
But it's been pretty good. I mean, but I think what's been more exciting for me is we base our show here with prep athletes. We reach out to later on in the show today. We're gonna have one of the prep coaches on, but just knowing that of these kids that are growing up in Las Vegas are now starting to move. They used to just be like, kind of like West Coast or bust in a sense. We might get a guy every once in a while in San Diego State or Washington or whatever. But now we got a couple guys this year that are going to Michigan State. We have Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's looking really good in his photo at UCLA.
Sure.
We have other players that are now signing in UCLA. We got some guys in Arizona. So we're kind of seeing these youth guys that I'm used to going and watching them play in high school. Now these guys are actually in
Taking it to
college.
the college, yes,
You know,
sir.
and it's kind of exciting to watch all that. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
I guess that's what kind of has piqued my interest a little bit more because, you know, we're finally getting noticed
Yes, sir.
in Las Vegas.
And being us getting noticed and the talents, also just watching them rise and grow
Yep.
from where they were until the sky is the limit.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the thing is to see everybody on their path, see these athletes on their path to making it happen for them.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it's just a beautiful success story in itself.
No, I absolutely agree with that. And we've been lucky enough to have several of them on the show here, so I'm always rooting for those guys. You know,
Yes,
I
sir.
kind of, you know, I'm in their corner in a sense. But
Sure.
speaking of in their corner, you said you went to the Tough Enough event
Yes, I believe it was 2 weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago.
Yes,
Pack
sir.
the Mac.
Pack the Mac. It was an awesome event. You never know what to expect.
Yes.
The fighters bring all the energy and put it all in the octagon.
No, it's not an octagon.
It's not an octagon there. It is square.
No, it's a hexagon. Because UFC, they
got the
patented the octagon, so
Okay.
it's actually a hexagon, I believe.
Okay.
But
My
that's,
bad.
yeah,
But yeah.
you're all good. We knew what you were talking
Yes,
about.
sir. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Seeing somebody get the heavyweight championship.
Those are always greatest.
I guess I can't think of his name right now, but I will remember. He Ox.
Okay.
His name was Ox. He had enough, and he had a Mike Tyson moment.
Really
Yeah.
bit somebody?
Yeah, he bit
Oh,
his,
no.
he bit his opponent on his chest.
Bit him on the chest.
Yeah.
I actually did not see that.
Yeah, and he was disqualified.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but it was a good fight up until then.
So in the Pack the Mac, for people that haven't seen it, they basically give it away, the tickets for free.
Yes, sir.
They usually get 17,000, 18,000 people. I mean, literally packing this place out, upstairs, downstairs, the floor, completely
All the
full.
way, yeah.
It's a yearly thing that they do, but then they come right back. I believe that they have a fight at the Orleans
Yes, sir.
coming up at the end of this month on the 27th, I believe. And, you know, I always have to give a shout out to Jeff Meyer, man. That guy
is
is
awesome.
consistently just kept pressing forward no matter what happens. They have events in Mesquite. They've had them in California now. And in the last UFC card,
Mm-hmm.
the fight this past weekend, they had 3 fighters that fought on Tough Enough.
Wow.
I mean, it's pretty impressive.
That is, and I mean, Tough Enough is what is it? It's the rookie league.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Building
amateur
up into
league,
the,
yeah.
yes, sir. Leading up into the UFC. So to see the fighters coming up out of that and progressing into the UFC is awesome too. Jeff Myers is an awesome man. I actually had a privilege of meeting him and singing the national anthem
Oh, nice.
for
Wait,
Tough
you
Enough
sing?
before.
You sang the national anthem? Oh,
Yes,
man,
sir.
how did I
At the
miss
Orleans.
that?
It was a few years ago. It was a few years ago.
That's great.
Yes, sir. It's a
I'm telling you, this man can sing, man. You don't believe it, man. You got to see it for yourself.
I'll be lip syncing all the time.
Lip singing's all right, man. That's probably the only way that I could get through it.
Straight
Actually.
up. You know what I mean? Milli Vanilli all day.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just like-
That's
Yes,
good
sir.
stuff. So, I mean, anything? I mean, what else did you see that you liked about what Jeff was doing? I mean, obviously, I just heard today that they ended up getting a major
Yes.
network deal. I haven't heard all the details on it, which I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But
I mean, we all look forward to the UFC pay-per-views.
Mhm.
If that's what's going to happen with Tough Enough, or if the fights are even just going to be available if you have the network, that's going to be awesome. Because if you're not able to make it to a match, which is a totally awesome experience, just being there, the energy, the crowd, just interacting with the stars while they're in the ring is awesome. But if you're not able to be there, being able to watch it at home
yeah,
is going to be another great outlet for them.
no, absolutely. And we're talking about. I was kind of talking about college football and how much I appreciate that, and the college basketball, whatever it is. This is literally like the lower level of the UFC. So everyone has to start somewhere.
Yes, sir.
And Jeff and Barry, his brother, put this organization together to give people an opportunity, to give them a platform, and it's actually worked. You're talking,
Yes, sir.
someone like Ronda Rousey that's fought there, and it's not just like I've only been to a couple of UFC fights, and I'll be honest with you, they were comped. So I have no idea what the tickets, what they cost. You know, people just, just say, hey, Jeff, I got some tickets for you.
Sure.
But I do know that the Tough Enough tickets are like maybe $10, $15. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about, bringing a family of four for like less than $100.
Yes,
the only thing that I can think of that's better than that is the Lights football club that we got here, the Las Vegas Lights Football Club,
yes, sir.
Where you can actually go somewhere and spend, $100 maybe for a family, where we all know when the Raiders get here,
that
is absolutely not going to happen. That's like maybe $100 a ticket, so you're in $1,000,
yes.
By the time you get done.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, so you said you are an NFL Pittsburgh fan. I mean, how do you feel about the Raiders coming through?
I might have to put a slash after the Raiders. I mean, after the Steelers, and in my house just decorate Steeler and
Raider, there you go.
Decor, and just collaborate and become one big squad. And we got two options to take the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But only, unfortunately, not against each other. That can't happen. But, being a Lions fan, it's always smart to have a second team.
Okay.
So I always have a second team that I root for.
Yes,
and usually I don't root for the same team on consecutive seasons. I kind of pick them preseason. So a few years back, it was the 49ers.
Okay.
And then they ended up doing pretty well. The next year, I took Carolina. They ended up going to the Super Bowl that year.
Yes, sir.
I've always been a Cam Newton fan. And I'm more or less like the guy that likes a college guy and will like him in pros and kind of pick up the team.
Yes, sir.
The one guy I always loved in college, Derek Carr. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to be completely honest.
Yes, sir.
That dude won me so much money. This guy was an absolute beast. When he played at Fresno State, I just pumped overs, first half overs, whatever I could get. I took the overs all the time. The guy always got it, threw the ball like a madman. So I've always been a fan of his. I like the Raiders themselves as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much maybe the fans. The fans are kind of like troubling to me. And
Why
I'm not talking crap about Raider fans. I'm saying I've been to a couple Raider games in Oakland. It wasn't the most pleasurable experience.
Okay.
I've also been to 49er games where it wasn't pleasurable. So
no, it wasn't pleasurable for the other team or for like if they're losing.
No, I think it was just I felt like uninvited.
Okay.
And this is the way that I look at it. If I'm spending my money to fly up to your city,
mm-hmm.
to spend money in your city, to spend money at your park, the least you can do is make my experience good.
Straight up.
That's just the way I feel. I mean, in every sports, people get hot.
Yes,
And the funny thing was, they lost every time. I don't know if you know this. It's an absolutely miraculous number. I've been to over 40 Lions games in my life,
mm-hmm.
live. They've never won one. They've lost every single time that I've been there. Now, I will tell you, I went up to Denver to watch him. That was Tim Tebow's first game as a starter.
Okay.
I decided not to go into the game. They won 45-0, I believe, the Lions. So I've actually been there,
mm-hmm.
like near the stadium where they won, just not inside the stadium watching them win. And I'm talking like at least, maybe 10 to 15 times in Arizona.
Yes, sir.
Where like to the old Arizona stadium where you sit outside and it's like you're sitting on tinfoil and you leave there and you got 30-degree burns, because it's so hot.
That's straight up.
But something else happened in sports, and I've always been. This guy has always been a guy that I've watched, which is Pacman Jones.
Yes,
I showed you the video before we went on today. Pacman has always been a guy that's been a hothead. He had an incident in Vegas.
Wasn't it Vince Neal's?
It was one of the strip clubs.
Yes.
I can't remember. I think it was the one over on Arville and by the Orleans,
Yes, sir.
where he had him or somebody he was with actually shot one of the bouncers. Mm-hmm. Luckily, the bouncer survived. But he was suspended, tried, all that other stuff. But
out of court, back and forth here.
Today or last night, one or the other, a video surfaces where he gets in a fight with an employee, an airline employee at Atlanta Airport.
Wow.
And we saw the video. What'd you think?
I would like to know what happened in the situation to where he lost it, to the point where it went to physical.
Yeah.
In the airport. He was fighting a worker.
Yep.
As we were talking about fans, we do know that fans can be quite unwelcoming.
Yep, embracing.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's I don't know.
I can tell you this: if you guys see the video, if you haven't seen the video, I believe that the other guy, which is, just guessing, probably 6 to 8 inches taller than Pacman, he really dodges a bullet, because when Pacman winds up to hit this guy, the female that he was with actually grabs his arm, and I think the Pacman would have got him.
She might have saved a life at that time. Yeah, Captain saved him without a cape.
Because I think that this is what I think happens a lot, especially like you're a big guy. We're both pretty tall guys, but pretty big guys. I think that you never can underestimate a little guy.
You can.
That's what I've learned over my years. So now I'm really calm, because I have no idea what this guy can do.
Yes, sir.
But in the past, I used to be the guy that talked a little bit of junk, and I've had somebody jump in my face, which has worked out good for me and bad for me.
Yes,
But in this instance, this guy's obviously clearly bigger than Pacman. He probably thought that he was going to take him, or maybe Pacman was going to step down,
right,
which he didn't either.
No, he stepped up to the plate.
Yep, I think he held his own.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, he is an ex-Bengal player. I'm not sure where that's going to go from there.
You know that they work out a lot. That upper body strength that coming from the shoulders can really do some damage. So the worker probably was very lucky that day.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to hopefully have on the air Rich Muraco. He's the Liberty High School football coach, ranked number 45 in the country in the most recent poll. We're going to hopefully be able to get him on. But if not, we're just going to keep chopping it up. Does that sound good? All right. You're watching Southern Nevada Sports News on WWDB TV. We'll be right back.
The golf store you've been waiting for is now open. Bob Allen Golf is ready to help you take your game to the next level. Bob Allen Golf is located at 6415 South Fort Apache, Las Vegas 89148. Choose your favorite clubs from our selection of Bridgestone, Callaway, Cleveland, XXIO, Srixon, Ping, Wilson, and more. We'll custom fit them in our state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulator. Come hang out with us and practice on our putting green to find out which club is perfect for you. Have your clubs repaired, reshafted, and regripped in our on-site tour shop. And talk about accessories. Guys and gals will feel comfortable and look sharp in the many sizes, colors, and options of apparel from Greg Norman, Black Clover, Under Armour, and more. The team at Bob Allen Golf takes your game as seriously as you do. Join our online family at boballengolf.com and stop in the store to meet us. Remember, at Bob Allen Golf, your game is in the bag.
We are back, Southern Nevada Sports News on WWDB TV. My name is Jeff Belknap, along with
the newbie.
Yes, sir. And on the line, we have the head coach from Liberty High School, Rich Muraco. How you doing, Rich?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
All right, thank you.
So
you're
enjoying
the summer.
You're enjoying the summer. Come on, man. You're supposed to be in the weight room right now. Come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you got the team coming together, obviously. You threw your workouts, threw your 7-on-7s. How's it looking? How's Liberty looking this year?
I like the way the team's looking so far. We obviously lost, like every year you lose some good players. This is the first time in 3 years that we don't have a starting quarterback coming back. So that's a little bit of a concern for us. We're got a little bit of a battle on our hands, so we'll see how that plays out over the next month or so. But we do have a lot of really good quality football players, a lot of kids with a lot of experience. I have I think 6 seniors that are going to commit to Division I schools this year. They have Division I offers, so we're pretty talented team, and hopefully we'll continue our success that we've had the last few years.
So the season starts in we're what are we, about 4 weeks away?
Yep. Yeah, it's getting there.
That's amazing, man. This short summer this year.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit more difficult for you guys.
Yeah, it's nice. I actually kind of hate this in-between period where we did a little spring ball in shorts and T-shirts, and we went to football camp, and the kids are ready to get after it and get the pads on, and we still can't do that yet. So the next couple weeks is it's almost like taking a step backwards. You got to kind of go back to what you were doing in the spring and with shorts and T-shirts. So it's tough getting through the next few weeks, but once August hits and we get to put the pads on, that's when it's the most fun.
So you're saying in August, so you guys won't be able to put pads on until like 2 weeks away from playing?
Yeah, actually 1 week. So
1 week?
Wow.
Yeah, we get to put the pads on August 13th, which is the first day of school, and then we actually have a scrimmage that Friday night. So we get 5 days, 4 days in pads, and the 5th day we have a scrimmage, and then the following week we get to play a game. So it happens real fast once that official start day takes place. We have to do three days with helmets, and then we have to do some heat acclimatization period leading up to the helmets. So it's kind of structured for the kids' safety and making sure they're ready to play.
How does that make it difficult to prepare for the season, not being able to practice with pads until so late before the season?
Yeah,
starts?
it's tough because some kids look really good in shorts and t-shirt and running around playing one-hand touch football, which is basically what we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. When the kids got to put the helmet on and get adjusted to that, and then you kind of see the men separate themselves from the boys with the hitting, so you don't have a big time frame to get adjustments and kind of it's tough to make the evaluations sometimes in that shorter period. But and then only getting one, you get the one scrimmage. Some teams aren't even getting a scrimmage. Some teams are playing an actual game that first week on the 17th.
Oh, wow.
There's probably half the schools are playing. The NIAA allowed us to add a 10th game this year, calling it a Hall of Fame game. So a lot of teams took advantage of that, and they're going to play that very first week.
Yes, sir.
So is that going to be that Hall of Fame game? Will that be at Liberty High School?
We're not doing the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, okay.
We decided to scrimmage because we have a really tough schedule at the beginning of the season, and I didn't want to jump into a game right away. I wanted to get a scrimmage, especially with the quarterback battle going on, and be able to make our corrections. And if you take the Hall of Fame game, then you don't get a scrimmage.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So you said there's a football or a quarterback. I don't know, what is it? It's a challenge, I guess, is what it is right now.
Right.
I mean, do you mind sharing with me who you got and what you're looking at?
I actually have 4 kids that are all going to be juniors that are competing for the position. Victor Epstein was our backup quarterback last year. He's he's kind of a more of a dual threat kind of guy. He's a little shorter, but he's probably got the best command of the playbook at this point because he was in the system last year and he got to work, right behind Kenyon. He got a little bit of playing time in some of our games where, we got up big and he was able to get a little bit of reps that way. We have a transfer kid from Hawaii, Noah Faoa. He's a little bigger than Victor, a little heavier, more muscular type kid, and he's very similar to Victor, dual threat. So those two are probably 1 and 1A right now, and then we have Isaac Hyena, who was at our school last year. He transferred in before last season. He didn't get cleared on the transfer until almost the end of the football season. So he was able to practice with us and learn the playbook, and he's competing right now. And then we have Canyon Stone King, who was our JV quarterback last year. He's a little different than the other guys. He's more of a true pocket passer. He's more like Kenyon was with staying in the pocket, and he's tall. He's like 6'4". So
oh, nice.
So that's kind of where we're at. And we went up to Boise State football camp, and each guy got a few reps with the ones, and it's a long process to kind of decide. We're trying to give every guy a fair opportunity and make a good judgment.
I like that you said giving everybody a fair opportunity. Am I too old and too late to try out for a quarterback? I'd just like to know.
He's got the size, I can tell you that, Coach.
Straight up.
But what about, how's your offensive line looking? I mean, obviously that's a key component to a good offense.
We're going to be really good up front. It's probably the strength of our team. You know, we have 4 starters that are returning from last year. Both my tackles have over 10 Division I offers. My right tackle, Troy Fontanu, has 11 Pac-12 offers, and he's got Notre Dame, he's got Vanderbilt. I mean, he's the real deal. He's a great kid, almost a 4.0 student, so he's a special talent. He's at right tackle, and my left tackle has, I think, 12 offers, couple Pac-12 offers, so Brandon Yates. So, you know, when you have 2 Pac-12 offensive linemen on your high school football team, that's pretty special. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
And, you know, my centers are going to be a 3-year starter for us, Jeremiah Taisi. My guard returns, he's going to be a junior, AJ Malaya. I struggle with the names sometimes. All the Polynesian kids I have, but so you know, we have 4 starters, and we got 1 position that's kind of the same thing as like the quarterback. It's kind of up for grabs. A couple kids battling for that. So, but I feel really confident. You know, we're probably going to change our style the last few years with Kenyon. We've been kind of throwing the ball, slinging it around 40 times a game, 35 times a game. And I think this year with our running backs and the way our offensive line is, probably be a little more ball control and play action pass.
Nice.
Is it too soon to for you to have any expectations on what teams you're going to have to watch out for, or what to be expecting?
You mean like local teams or just?
Yes, sir.
Local teams. You know, they switched the regions up this year. It used to be there was the Sunrise and the Sunset, and the Sunrise was essentially the east side of the valley from the 15 over. Okay. We'd won the last 8 regional championships. And Gorman had this, obviously, the west side.
Yes, sir.
They decided to flip it to kind of give some other teams an opportunity to win a regional championship. So they put us and Gorman on the same side now, so it's a north and south split. And they changed the names to Mountain and Desert Region. So, you know, we'll hopefully play Gorman for the Desert Region Championship.
Yes, sir.
But you know, our division over the last several years, even though we've won it, you know, there's some really well-coached teams and, you know, teams that we have to prepare for and give us fits. Foothill last year did a great job against us. I know they have some really good players coming back. Green Valley is going to be tough again. And then, you know, obviously being on Gorman's side, you know, you got to deal with them a week earlier than we normally do.
Yes, sir.
So you obviously, I've said this to you before. You've been a friend of the show and been on several times. You never really back down from any opponents. Tell us a little bit about like what your preseason look, or your, I guess, not really preseason, but before league season. Tell us a little bit about some of those teams.
Yeah, so we always try to challenge ourselves and try to play the best teams we can. And a lot of that was because we want to get the kids ready to play Bishop Gorman because they play such great teams. And this year, probably taking our biggest opponent on. We're playing IMG Academy from Florida. You know, they're the #1 ranked team in the country preseason, so they're coming to Liberty September 7th as part of the Polynesian Classic. So that's going to be a huge game for us. We were just ranked number 45 in the preseason on High School Football America's preseason rankings. We'll see kind of where we are with Max Preps and USA Today, you know, when their rankings come out later. But I think that, you know, the preseason rankings kind of show that the respect that our program has earned over the years and, you know, the things that we've been able to accomplish in the past. So, you know, it's kind of an honor to be thought of in those rankings. And we play a couple other really tough teams. We play Saguaro from Arizona. They're 5-time state champions. We played them last year and beat them here at Liberty, and now we're going to go down to Arizona and play them there. That's going to be our first game of the year, August 24th. And then we play a really tough team out of Utah, Lone Peak. They were state champs a couple of years ago of the big classification, and they're supposed to have a pretty good team this year, so they're going to come down to Liberty on the 31st of August and play them. And then, we wanted to play the best possible team we could in town that's not in our league, and so we got a game against Desert Pines week 4. So our first 4 games are real tough, and we'll kind of know where we stand after those games.
Yeah, so Desert Pines also moved up a division. I mean, how do you think that they're going to fare, playing in that against the more talented schools?
I think they're going to be. I think they have a really good shot of winning the mountain region. I think it'll be between them, Arborview, and Faith Lutheran. Probably one of those 3 schools got to be the favorite on that side of town. The difference between 3A and 4A, for when you ever, like, Desert Pines could have competed the last few years for sure on the 4A level. They wouldn't have been state champions, but they would have competed. The difference is depth, and when you play better teams week after week, you got to have that depth because injuries are going to happen. Kids are going to get tired, and sometimes you can get away with playing guys both sides of the ball. And we'll see how they react to that, having to play tough team after tough team after tough team week after week. Kind of can grind on you a little bit. So but I think they'll be right there at the end.
Yeah. So there was I don't know if this is a rumor, if this is true, but Jaden King. Is that one of your running backs?
Yeah, he transferred from Desert Pines to Liberty, but he's going to have a hard time getting approved because when you leave a magnet school, usually they deny your eligibility, so he's got to do a hardship and see if that gets approved.
That'd be interesting because he's a young guy, but very talented, very quick running back, so I hope we get a chance to see him play, especially against his old team. Hopefully by week 4 they can get him ready for that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're hoping. We'll see. There's a chance that if he doesn't get approved, he might leave the state, go to Calabasas in California, and then maybe come back for his senior year. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So, what would you, as of now, what would you have to for the people? What do they have? What would they have to expect this season from Liberty High School?
Well, I think we're at a point now in our program where we get a lot of kids that want to play for a successful program, and we get a lot of kids that our lower levels each year have been kind of stacked with talent, and so we've been fortunate to be able to kind of reload each year. I expect us to be the same as we've been, right there at the end, competing for a regional championship and hopefully a state championship. I think our style of football, like I said, our offense is going to change a little bit. We're probably not going to be throwing the ball around as much, but defensively we should be hopefully as good as we were last year. We got a lot of very talented kids. I think there's 4 kids with 4 seniors with Division I offers, but a couple kids have committed to UNLV. My inside linebacker Kyle Beaudry and my safety Austin Fiseo. My corner Cervantes White's going to make a decision here in a couple weeks on where he's going to go. He's got BYU and Utah State offers, and my defensive tackle's got a couple 1AA offers. So I think we have a solid player at each level, and a lot of young kids that I think are going to open some eyes because they're going to get opportunities this year.
That's beautiful. So any younger guys, underclassmen, that you could see like really doing some good things for the team?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I have we started 2 freshmen last year on our team. Zyrus Fiaseo, and he got this off season he got 2 really big offers. So, you know, going into his sophomore season, he's got a Nebraska offer and he's got an Oregon offer. So, you know, I think by the time he's a senior, he's going to be one of those guys that has 25, 30 offers. He's beautiful. A special player. You know, he played running back for us last year and played some defense too as an outside backer. And you know, he'll do the same thing this year. He's just an explosive player. I have another sophomore running back that's was our JV guy. Couldn't play varsity last year because he was on a zone variance. I think he's gonna, you know, he's a hammer. His name's Ezra Tom Hoon, and you know, there's another sophomore. I'm kind of stacked at the running back position with sophomores. Another one, Corey Abear, might open some eyes. He's kind of different than the other 2. He's more of a speed guy, shifty. If Jaden King gets cleared, you know, we're definitely set at the running back position. That's why, you know, like I've talked about already, we're going to probably be a little different identity offensively. But you know, we've got some young corners and some young linebackers. Zephaniah Mamea started every game as a freshman in inside linebacker, and you know, I know he's gonna open some eyes this year too.
Beautiful. So you spoke a little bit about the Polynesian Bowl. That's usually a couple of games. Is there somebody else playing on that day?
Yeah, we play Friday night against IMG. It's going to be at Liberty High School, and then Saturday there's going to be 3 games. 3 great games. It's Chandler out of Arizona. They're state champs. They're going to play against Faith Lutheran. Bingham from Utah is going to play Mountain Point out of Arizona, and then Carson from California is going to play Farrington from Hawaii.
Oh, nice!
So it's going to be a great weekend of football, and they're going to have a little like Aloha Festival there at Liberty, and should be good. They're trying to negotiate a contract to put our game against IMG on TV. Probably going to be on CBS Sports channel. So, you know, should be a great weekend.
And if that's the case, we know that we can count on some food to be there, right? Because
Absolutely.
I know how you guys do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're. I'm sure that they get that Aloha Festival going on at the same time. Should be a real exciting weekend for everybody. And we hope we get a lot of people. You know, we're the Friday night game, which is great. But I was kind of wishing we weren't the Friday night game, because I know a lot of the local teams and coaches and stuff kind of wanted to see us and IMG play. But you know, Saturday is going to be great with the 3 games.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time right there.
Are we going to be roasting a pig?
They do that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh, there's no without a doubt. They have. I was at one of the games last year. They literally had a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The whole trailer was cooking. It wasn't just like a little spot. The whole trailer, it was about an 8-foot trailer, and they were just cooking it up and, you know,
I
making.
think he can cook like 4 cases of chicken, like the big, you know, restaurant-sized cases of chicken at once on that trailer.
Yeah.
So
it's no joke.
So are we all welcome?
No, we're going. Man. What are you talking about? Welcome. You already know I'm going to be there. I always try to get there, and then I try to sneak on the field afterwards.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So we're actually selling tickets right now, and one of the things they're doing for each team to kind of help them pay for their trip and help them make a little money is we get half the proceeds of the tickets. So every ticket that we sell, we get, you know, half the fee. It's $15 a ticket. So that's going to be going on for the next few weeks. So if anyone's interested, they can contact Liberty High School athletic department, and we can get them a ticket and use it as a fundraiser for ourselves. After the pre-sale's over, the organizers get all the money for the tickets.
Okay, so pre-sale, and I saw you guys revamp your website a little bit. Do you have a spot on there where they can buy it as well?
No.
No, okay.
We don't have a spot, but the people who are running the Polynesian Classic have a link. We've put it out on social media, on our Twitter and our Facebook. If you click on the link, you pick what team you're supporting, and then that team gets half the.
Oh, beautiful.
The fee.
So what is your social media again, Coach?
For Twitter, it's Liberty OT Ball, at Liberty OT Ball, and then Facebook we have Liberty Patriots. I don't know what it's just Liberty Patriots page, and then we have a Patriot Nation page on Facebook as well. It's our parent club.
Well, by all means, tag me the next time you put that out there, and I'll absolutely retweet it for you guys.
Thanks.
I appreciate it, Coach. Well, that's Coach Muraco, Liberty High School. Looking forward to a great season. Coach, thank you again, as always, for calling in.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you, brother. All right. So, right around the corner.
Yes.
3 weeks or 4 weeks away from high school football.
I'm excited.
I can't wait, man. I love watching these young guys play.
I love that there's food there.
Dude, I'm not joking, man. The last time I went there, it was like $10 for literally a whole one of those styrofoam to-go containers worth of food.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking like cooked barbecue sauce, rice. I mean, just the Polynesians, how they do it.
Yes,
and it was no joke, man. I ate the whole thing. I saw a lot of other people taking half at home. I saw a lot of people splitting them because you're actually getting a lot of food.
Yes,
but I really like the fact that that they're able to raise some money for their programs.
Yes.
And so if you get an opportunity, buy a pre-sale ticket. Don't wait till the game. I mean, go to the game, but don't wait till the game to buy your tickets. That's a huge opportunity for these guys to be able to make some money.
Yes, sir. It helps. It helps the funding for the program to get the kids everywhere, back and forth to where they need to go.
Yep.
Out-of-state games and whatnot. So yes, it's also a privilege to be a part of being able to help.
Yeah.
Some the kids follow their dreams.
I mean, but think about it. You're actually helping somebody that is literally could be a future NFL player.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes,
I mean, that's not an opportunity that everyone has.
Straight up.
I mean, you're talking about two guys he's talking about. Now, one of the tackles that he mentioned was 11 offers in the Pac-12, which isn't 12 teams anymore. But you're talking about over the half of the teams in the Pac-12 want this kid. There's just something to be said about that. That's no joke right there.
He's a bad boy.
That's right. I love it. Well, Lucius, thank you, sir, for coming in. The New B on. Tell us again your show.
Shananaganz on the radio, 91.5 FM, Las Vegas. Listen in the car from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, and then Friday or your Thursday night show?
And then also Thursday on the Rebel HG2 from 7 to 9. Shananaganz on the radio and Praising Shananaganz on the radio every first and fourth Thursday of the month.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you.
It has been way too long since we got
Yes,
together,
sir.
so we're going to catch up after the show.
Yes, sir.
But thank you, everyone else. Thank you for joining us. John on the board back there, thank you for everything you do. You've been watching Southern Nevada Sports News on WWDBTV.com. Thank you very much. See you next week, and God bless.